according to this foreigner, African universities are better than its foreign counterparts. He basically means that African universities are better than Western universities. Okay. And I don't know, do you believe that? Well, me, I don't know. Listen.
African universities are far better than the Western world gives them credit for, with many of the top universities in Africa outcompeting their equivalents in the Western world. And I know how surprising that would sound to a Western educated person, so I had to demonstrate this point in a way that was completely objective. So I did a review of the math departments in two universities, the University of Ghana and the University of Lagos, which are two of the better universities on the continent of Africa. Now, if you think for a second that either of these universities are diploma mills or that they are easy, let me show you the curriculum that's required if you want an undergraduate mathematics degree from the University of Ghana. It's a lot. It's actually more than you'll typically find in a Western university. As far as the difficulty of the courses themselves, I've had the opportunity to review both the exams and the homework from these universities, and I can tell you that it is on par with what you would find in a good Western university. This doesn't surprise me because the typical African student is more serious than his Western counterpart. The typical African student is going to college because he's trying to make a better life for himself and for his family, whereas the typical Western student may just be going to college because their parents pressured them to do so, or because it's just something to do after high school. And that's why in the Western world, I think you see such an emphasis on football teams, partying, and everything except for the education itself. So why haven't African universities gotten more recognition? It really comes down to money. In the Western world, colleges have gotten away with charging undergraduate students $100, $200, or even $300,000 for a 4-year degree. And you better believe that they want that gravy train to continue. They don't want Western students to realize that they could get an African education that would be the equivalent or better without going into massive student debt. The reason university education in Africa is so important to me and should be so important to you is that we cannot reasonably expect Africa to develop if they were unable to educate the talent that's necessary for that development to occur in the short, mid, and long term. However, having reviewed the African higher education system, I can confidently say that they should have no trouble producing the necessary talent in engineering, mathematics, and other important fields to develop. But I want to know what you guys think. Have you gone to university in Africa? If so, what were your experiences and how did it compare to a Western education?
Guys, I personally disagree with this analogy. Okay, I feel like African universities are far more behind and the Western universities are ahead. Okay, I am an African, and then I personally believe that the Western form of education is basically the best. Okay, and this is why I say so. Like when it comes to even infrastructure, okay, the Western universities are far more ahead when it comes to libraries, like research centers, and all of these things. The Western universities are far more ahead. Okay, student body. Okay, student body. You know, Western universities have a diverse form of student body where people from all walks of life, from different countries, you know, come together in one space. Okay, and to achieve their dreams together. You get it? So it makes you want to learn different cultures, different perceptions, you know, different backgrounds, and it will really, as a student, it will widen your spec and knowledge base. Okay, so it is also another source of positive when you go to the Western university. When it comes to even funding, okay, funding is one of the things that are drawing African universities back, because most of the time their source of funding in the African space comes from government. Okay, whereas the Western universities, they have diverse form of funding. Okay, because in Africa it is either grants from even the same Western people or government funding. The Western universities are more focused on research. That is what I see, and this boils back to results. Like mostly when you see the two universities, okay, and you want to compare the results or the achievement of its students, I don't have to tell you, Okay, because one is more focused on research, whereas the other is focused on services. That's why when you come to Africa, the hospitality is great. That's it's very true. When you come to Africa, see, especially Ghana, the hospitality in this country is great. You meet everybody and they are ready to take you on a ride, and you will love it. They are very accommodating. They love people. They can tolerate you in any form, in any way, and you will be happy. So yeah, and I take this opportunity to also welcome you to Ghana. Okay, if you haven't been to Ghana before, please, you have to consider visiting Ghana. Okay, you will really love it. Ghana will make you feel at home. I think the Western universities are still better. Currently, they are still better. And if we really want to chase them, then it means that there's more we need to do. Okay, there's more we need to do when it comes to the African university space. There's more that we need to put up to be able, especially if we want to compete. They have systems that are in place that are working. Whereas here in Africa, the systems do not necessarily work. So we struggle a bit. So there's more for us to do. This shouldn't make our head big, like the man is saying. No, no, no. It's about results. And we need to try to achieve results after we've been through all of these processes and we are unleashed to the world. We definitely have to come out with some things that basically will change a lot. Thank you. This is AduKash Official.